Hi guys, here's your feedback for assignment 10. Now, the big thing here is we're now beginning to tag our adaptations of those bird species to how they are adapted to that pre-human environment in New Zealand and what the big consequence for a particular bird species is going to be now that human beings have arrived, or what that impact on them over the last years has been because of the disadvantage that they have. So let's go. Okay, if we go through these, we'll see where we are. So really large in size. An example that Jason's going to use here is the mower. Why is that really helpful? Big size is going to mean that you can hold on to loads and loads of food. It's going to mean that you're going to be able to get to lots of food sources. It's generally a consequence of not having a lot of predators, tends to, and living on an island, selects for something called gigantism. You get largeness in animals in that space. It's a noted trend in biology in islands all over the world, in point of fact. Disadvantage of that adaptation, your really big thing, now human beings can see you. Also, human beings can see you, they may be threatened by you, and there's this thing, it's called the megafaunal extinction. What it means, mega, big, faunal, animal, extinction, gone away forever. So the big animal extinction. And fun fact about the megafaunal extinction, wherever human beings go, big animals die. So let's think about that. There's a reason there are no saber-toothed tigers anymore. There is a reason there are no woolly mammoths anymore. There is a reason why there are no moas anymore. Human beings are an aggressive predator species. As a group, we basically turn up, adapt an environment to service ourselves, and then start going after any big animals that we're moderately threatened by. Human beings turn up, see the mowers, buy mowers. So the disadvantage of that adaptation is summarized neatly. They're easy to spot. They won't have any fear of human beings. So I imagine the first few mowers were like, hello, human being. And then that resulted into awkwardness as it got turned into that night's dinner. Anyway, another example, so the loss of flight, and many New Zealand bird species are flightless. The advantage of that, you're going to be able to get more food. So there's a gap here. Okay, why does that matter? Okay, why is that helpful? This is descriptive. So it's okay to say easier to find food like worms and fruits and seeds because they're ground dwelling. Notice I said because. This is going to mean that you can get more food, and being able to fly uses a lot of energy. So not being able to fly saves an absolute massive amount of energy. If you've saved all that energy, guess what? You'll use that for other things like your own growth, your own immune system, looking after your babies, making sure you're trying to attract the best mate that you can. Okay, so we can go deeper with this answer, and in this place we should have done. Disadvantage: can't fly, easy to catch, so easy to be predated, and that's going to be problematic. Okay, nocturnal. So you give an example of a kakapo. Many New Zealand bird species are nocturnal. The main reason that would be is to reduce being seen by other predators and recognise the predator of most bird species was other birds. In many cases, for example, if you're a moa, Hurst's eagle, which comes out during the day. So if you're out at night, you're not going to be visible to a predator. It's easier for you to be able to see. Disadvantage of adaptation: now humans are in New Zealand. You can be hunted down by human beings at night. It's not the humans that are going to get you, though. It's their dogs and their cats that hunt with their smell. Okay, and the rats that came on their boats. So mammal predators are not just dependent on sight to be able to find their prey. As a result, being a nocturnal animal that does not have the protection that it does against other species that you may have had an adaptation to. Ground dwelling. Okay, so thing you want to watch out for here, on the surface this looks exactly the same as loss of flight. No, loss of flight means way more energy because you're not flying. Ground dwelling means you're more likely to get food from the ground. The other thing that you want to watch out for here is that there's going to be reduced competition for those nutrients that are in those ground species. So there is an advantage to being there. This is not the same as the loss of flight stuff. The thing also, the disadvantage: if you're on the ground, you're more easily predated by terrestrial ground-based predators. Okay, camouflaged on top, bright colours underneath works great if anything's looking at you from above. So being well camouflaged reduces the likelihood, and Jason nails this, from something like Hurst eagle. Okay, being brightly camouflaged does not only on the top means you can be seen from underneath. So a dog, a cat, a human being coming along goes, oh look at that bright thing, boom, got you, and they'll be predated at that point. Breeding time with certain treat and seed production means that they're going to be able to. Oh, okay. So we need to be careful with this one here. Okay, so breeding time with certain tree and seed production means there's going to be more nutrition to support the growth of offspring. That's what breeding is. It's when the bird is reproducing. If you're having your babies when there are lots of seeds, there's more food for your babies. Okay, that's the advantage. The disadvantage, humans also go looking for those seeds. So now they're also looking for you. And that's going to create a problem. Okay, so that's a focus on seasonality would be exactly the thing. If a human being was interested in berries or being like gathering things like that, they're in the forest at the same time as you're breeding. Now you're going to have a problem. Okay, so the disadvantage is compounded by the tendency for human beings to be hunter-gatherers or for other organisms to be in that space also looking for berries. And if they can eat berries and birds like the kakapo, they're coming for you, kakapo, and your population is going to decrease as a consequence of it. My personal favourite one, good old freeze reflex. It's like my favourite of all the things. So the freeze reflex is a fantastic adaptation for a motion sight based predator to stop you being eaten by something that sees its prey based on how its prey is moving. So if the prey doesn't move, the predator can't see it. Great example here is, do you ever see the T-Rex in Jurassic Park in the first one? Really old film for you guys now, but you watch that, and in that chase, that T-Rex is looking around trying to eat the kids, and it doesn't get the kids. And the reason it doesn't get the kids is because the kids stay very, very still. Okay, so the freeze reflex, if you're a bird and you're hunted by a predator that has motion-based sight, is like, I just turned invisible. You can't see me. Yeah, does not work when your predator is a human being or the introduced pest of a human being, your dog, your cat, because a cat doesn't care if you stay still. It will take you can't see me as an invitation to claw you to death. So there's your big deal. Okay, freeze reflex is completely ineffectual against introduced mammal predators. Okay, some cracking stuff in that. Please make sure that you're adding the level of depth and correcting your answers where you need to, if you need to.